This session is just going, it's just getting better and better and better. Picked the rod up, bent into it, and I knew it was going to be a big fish. You join me, George Treadwell, here at Cottington Lakes on a new vlog series. You may remember me from Boily Belly TV, and recently me and my sister Harriet set up ClubCarp, and we've moved everything across to the club. We're now going to be producing loads of different series, loads of different content, but I love doing my vlogs and I'm going to continue that theme. Like I said, we're here at Cottington Lakes and we've got a week's worth of fishing. Unfortunately, our trip to France got cancelled, so we had to book this last minute. We've ended up on the new half of Pepper for the start of the week, and then the end of the week we're on the old part of Pepper. We've had a great start this morning. We've already got one in the sling. Right, let's get her out and have a look. There you go, check that out for a first Cottington carp. 31 pound. Absolute brutal mirror carp. The scale pattern is absolutely incredible. Now this guy absolutely tore off. I mean, like single toner, melted off, and then the fight that he gave up was unbelievable. At first actually I thought it was a catfish. I didn't know if there's any catfish in this lake. Dived down really hard and then played us pretty much on the bottom all the way, and then right at the end just popped up and then slipped into the net. Harriet gave me a big hand as well, because he was a little bit awkward getting into the net. But nonetheless, first fish, 31 pound, absolutely over the moon. Seems to be doing well this year on the 30s. And this guy is very, very welcome. All right, let's get her back and then we're gonna go off to the cafe and enjoy a nice breakfast. Wow, mega carp. So like I said, we're down in the depths of Kent fishing at Cottington Lakes. Now I've fished here a couple of times before, but never on Pepper Lake, only ever on Lake Christine, and I've seen some fantastic pictures of the fish residing in Pepper. Unfortunately this week me and Harriet were booked to be doing a ClubCarp trip over to France. We was meant to be at Teliats for the week, but unfortunately because of obviously the COVID problems and whatnot, we've had to kind of cancel that. We couldn't afford to take out that much time off work. So frantically we had a good look around and we found a spot here at Cottington Lakes, got booked up, and here we are. What more can I say? It is looking absolutely stunning. The weather this week's going to be up and down. It was really cold this morning, and already absolutely buzzing to be off the mark with another 30. I think we've had quite a few 30s this year so far, and things are going strong. Hopefully that's a good sign of things to come this session. So throughout these vlogs what we'll be doing is following what I'm doing, where I'm fishing, how I'm fishing, and hopefully in each episode as well we're bringing some fantastic fish and we'll be able to show you how we've been catching them as well. So we'll go through the bait, the rigs, the tackle, all that kind of stuff associated with these venues and these fishing vlogs. But for now I'm just gonna enjoy the sun, enjoy the morning. The guy in the peg down next to us has actually just given us a shout. He's just caught one, not a massive fish but a really nice looking common, and I'm going to go do his pictures for him. Right, for now until this afternoon we'll touch base a bit later on, hopefully with another fish. If not, we'll give you an update a bit later this afternoon.
That is a big boy.
That is a very big boy. Well done.
I don't think I'm going to be able to say all of that whilst holding him. Okay, we're 24 hours in here at Cottington Lakes and this guy's just showed up. So we had a bit of breakfast and then we had to do a bit of work, so we just finished that off. And basically we just went after the fish that were showing, which was great. So we just made up some solid bags and PVA and just kept chucking them out. We caught a few bream in the meantime, and then this guy turned up, all 34.5 pounds of him. And as you can see, he's pretty heavy to hold, but yeah, going well.
So absolutely buzzing with this. Like Harriet just said, 34.5 pound. We've worked really hard for this one together. We had a lot of work to do this morning. We finished up doing that work and then we thought actually let's start doing some proper fishing. So together we've worked hard, making up PVA bags, casting them out, paid the bream tax ultimately, because there's a few bream about. But we thought if we stick with it, then we'll probably get through to a few carp. And lo and behold, absolutely melted off. Harriet did a fantastic job of reeling her in. So Harriet made the rig, I made the bag, I cast it out, and then Harriet reeled it in. So a proper one for Team ClubCarp, George and Harriet. What a way to the start of this vlog. We've got a few more nights. Hopefully they'll keep growing these carp and we'll get through to the A team and we'll get through to the absolute big uns. But for now, I'm over the moon with this. Done a fantastic job, the pair of us. And hopefully tonight we'll have a few more big uns. We're going to get a few pictures, get her back, and then get some dinner on. Mega. 2:30s, doesn't happen that often. Just topping up the swim with some bait. Now all the gulls have died off, we can actually get some bait out of with a catapult. We'll go through the bait tomorrow, but essentially all it is just boilie. It's just a mixture of 15mm, 18mm Cremino boilies, soaked in lake water, and then a big pot of glug over the top, so nothing special. Hopefully tonight we'll have another few. We're fishing on a good little gravel bar. It's only about 10 wraps out, if that. And we've just presented over the top two sort of standard blowback rigs, the same as what I was fishing at Linear's last week. If you haven't seen that film, make sure you check that out, because we had a couple of 30s during that trip as well. So we're sticking with something that's working at the moment. I think we'll probably end up with another fish early hours in the morning, fingers crossed. But at the moment, just going to enjoy the evening. Try not get bit by too many midgies. And then, yeah, I think it's going to be an early night tonight. And we're going to work hard at it again tomorrow. Well, very good morning. And still very early. Raining really hard pretty much all night. And we've had a brace of fish this morning. Pretty much this one just got over the net cord. and then the other rod ramped off as well. £21, absolutely stunning mirror. Can't get over this one. It's almost a zip line really. It's the scale pattern's absolutely incredible. The other one in the net is something a little bit bigger, so I'm looking forward to getting that out, getting that one weighed up. Like I said, this one went £21, caught with an 18mm hard hook bait on a simple blowback rig, tipped with a little bit of yellow corn. Wow, absolute mega session, just only getting better. Right, let's get a couple of pictures of this one, get it back, and then we'll get the one out of the net because it's a little bit bigger. Right in the face. This is a brutal carp. He is proper angry. Well, it's quite a slippy one. Ah, this session is just going, it's just getting better and better and better. Not long after we had that £21, well, pretty much just as he slipped in the net actually, the other rod slowly ticked off. I thought it was a bream at first, it was sort of that finicky take. Picked the rod up, bent into it, and I knew it was going to be a big fish. Exactly £38. I can't believe it so far. 3 30s in this session, and we've only done 2 nights so far. I've got a few more nights ahead of us. Wow, and it's not just a 38 pounder as well, it is a stunning 38 pounder. Check that out for a Cottington beast. Right, let's get a few pictures, check out the other side, and then I think we'll probably get some tea on, enjoy some breakfast, and see what today brings. There we go, what a capture this morning. 38 pounder mirror carp, third 30 of the session. Hopefully we'll break out into them 40s, but I think that's a little optimistic. A couple of 30s, and we've had an absolute mega session so far. Right. Yes, come on. Had a really active morning this morning. After we had them couple of fish, we had a nice little breakfast, and then unfortunately Harriet decided to drive into a post yesterday, so we had to get that sorted out. So we pulled the rods in, went and met the recovery guy, dealt with that, and then whilst that was being dealt with, had a nice hot shower, went off and got a few more supplies, went off and get a little bit more food, and now we're back in a swim. So we're back now fishing, and it's still drizzling, still slightly rainy, but the wind is absolutely pumping down this end of the lake, and I'm amazed there is nobody else fishing. We are the only two here. In fact, that's a lie. There's one guy in the peg next to us doing a day session, but he's set up sort of just fishing down in the margin. So there's no lines cutting through this end of the lake. Up the other end, on the back of the wind, in the noose part of the lake, sorry, in the old part of the lake, it's really busy. I don't know why people are sitting on the back of the wind when this end of the lake is clearly fishing well. There's fish showing out in front of us. There's no one else down here. There's no angling pressure, and subsequently we're benefiting from that. We're doing quite well from it. That being said, we're not going to put loads of bait in today. We're going to go back to making up the PVA bags. Yesterday PVA bags worked quite well for us. I mean, it took us a little while to get going with them, but because it's only a 2 rod limit, I was able to make up the 3rd rod, get the 3rd rod prepped, ready to go. So as soon as we had a run, a bite, I could get that back out on the spot, literally within a matter of minutes, and fishing sort of little German rigs with the Baitworks pineapple pop-ups. are just absolutely devastating. Now, yeah, we worked our way through a couple of bream, but actually when the carp started getting on it, they really were hoovering up them bags and the fish were being absolutely nailed. So that kind of tells me as well, when seeing the fish sort of jumping out all around this end of the lake, that they're actively moving around and they're looking for the bait. So I'm not going to be putting loads in, I'm just going to be putting out solid bags to show in fish, and I think we'll probably pick up a couple this afternoon. Fingers crossed, never say never. Right, I'm going to get on, make up a few bags, get them back out on some spots, and hopefully we'll be seeing you again in a bit with another carp. So a bit of an update. The wind has absolutely been howling all day down this end of the lake. Me and Harriet have been working hard, making up PVA bags, getting them out, but unfortunately all we've had is bream to show for our effort. We're all set up for this evening. We've put out 2 blowback rigs, the same as what we've caught all them other fish on, because we know it's working. An 18mm bottom bait and a little yellow bit of plastic corn on top. It's looking absolute prime for a bite. We're the only ones fishing at this end of the lake. There's a few anglers on the old part, which is just upwind of us, and hopefully that's pushing all the fish down into our area where there's no angling pressure. And also that wind absolutely hammering down our end of the lake. No doubt the fish will be on as well and following. So fingers crossed we get a chunk tonight. If not, we'll catch up with you in the morning with another update. Thank you.
Give us an update.
So it's late, it's dark, we've been making PVA bags, and we've certainly paid the bream tax. We've had quite a few come in, but amazingly we've just had a massive carp turn up on the bank. So excited to show you what we've landed.
So like Harriet just said, she's been making up the PVA bags, I've been getting them out, and after all them bream, certainly paid off, because we have got another nice looking mirror. Right, let's get him out.
we go, check that out. Like I said, me and Harriet have been working really hard today getting them PVA bags out. Plagued by bream, but we've worked our way through them and we've conquered, and we've managed to get another 30 in the net. This is £32 and this takes our tally up to 4 30s for this trip, and this overall is my 6th 30 within 2 weeks. So something we're doing is right. Bait that is working, well presented rigs, and we'll go through all that tomorrow with you. It's been a long day today, so we're going to get him back, get a tea and then get into bed, I think. Absolute over the moon. What a session this is. Cannot believe it. Right, let's get her back. There we go, look at that. What an absolutely stunning carp. What a session we're having as well. Right, if you can go back and get your friend 40 pounder to come along, that'd be much appreciated. Right, beautiful. Yes. Well, good morning. It's still very windy. It's not as windy as what it was last night, but nonetheless it's still pretty windy out there. Unfortunately we didn't have anything. Really thought we would have another fish during the middle of the night, but just didn't happen. I'm not sure if it was just a bit too windy and it got the fish down and hiding, but I really thought we'd have a couple, but no. So this morning had a little bit of a change in tactic. We've put one rod out on a zig rig in a sort of a bit of a hole that we found. So I found a hole out towards the island in front of us and just off to the left, and it's probably about 8 feet deep. It's a little bit deeper than the rest of the lake, sort of this bit of a bowl, bit of a trough. And I've put a zig right in the middle of it, only at about 4 or 5 foot. But I'm just trying to gauge where the fish are, because they're not showing at the moment. There's no feeding bubbles coming up and there's nothing promising to go on. On the other rod, it's just gone straight out in front of us. 15.5 wraps, which puts it from this distance, looks like it's probably about a rod length off the island in front, and that's just on a solid bag. We're getting currently breamed out at the moment by it, but the other day we kind of did the same sort of thing, had a few bream, and then we managed to get that 30 pounder. Hopefully the same sort of thing will pay off. Catching bream is not what we're here for, but needs must, and if we've got to work our way through the bream to get to the big carp, then I'm quite happy to do that. Alright, that's that one out. Just sinking the line. Had a couple of casts with this. Didn't quite hit the clip each time properly or in the right area because of this side wind kind of hacking through. But it's important that you just keep doing it till you get it in the right spot. There's no point in sitting behind a rod that you're not comfortable with. Right, there we go. Today we're going to be doing a bit more filming. Harriet's going to be going through a couple of how-to guides on setting up basic leg clips, basic systems for our new how-to series. Also got the box launching 1st of September, so by the time this video's out it would have been launched. And if you haven't already subscribed, make sure you get over to clubcarp.com, subscribe to our quarterly box, and the first one will be coming out in November. Right, we've got a bit of work to be doing today. Going to leave the rods now set. Obviously if we get another bream I'll have to make up another bag and get it out, but we're going to crack on because we've got a fair bit to do today. Hopefully we'll see you in a bit with a fish.
Morning, bit of an update. Not much happened last night. We had that one absolute perler of a fish, that 32-pound mirror, really early on. After that, we sat out, had a few more knocks, and then it went completely quiet. Not a single bleep. So it's a little bit disappointing. Well, I can't really say that. I can't really say it's disappointing because we've now ended up with 430s on this trip, but we really thought we was going to sort of have a few last night, and it just didn't happen. Got up this morning and it is blistering hot. It's baking hot. It must be in the high 20s already. And we've had a bit of a change of plan. So we've brought both the rods in. We was fishing on the bottom. We've now gone over to zigs. So we saw a fish roll close to the island, right at the back. And we put two zigs on, one at about 4 foot and the other one at about 5.5, 6 foot. Got them out on a spot, two different colours, and now we've started spotting a little sloppy mixture over the top. So fingers crossed that might produce us a bite. But I think with these variations in weather, I don't think it's doing us any favours. We seem to be getting absolutely thundery, stormy, torrential rain and winds, and then all of a sudden we're getting like mid-30s, mid-20s to low 30s in the temperature. So I think it's just playing a little bit of havoc, but nonetheless, we're still having a great time. Right, we'll catch up with you in a bit. I'm going to go through the rigs and the bait that we've been using this session.
Okay, well, as promised, it's been really quiet. Late morning, we haven't had any knocks at all. We've been working really hard, and I thought I'd take this time to show you the two rigs that we've been using that have done us some really nice fish this session. So the first one you would have seen me using last week at my session at Linear, and it is of course just the simple blowback rig. There's not really too many components to this, and it's a rig that you should be able to tie really easily. We'll be doing one of these in our how-to guides. All that I'm doing different on this session is that I'm using an 18mm hard hooker, which is match the hatch with a Cremino bottom baits, and then I'm just tipping that with a bit of plastic yellow corn. Using a size 4 curve shank hook, and then I'm just trapping the hair like I always do with a little bit of micro, not a micro, a bit of shrink tube in there just opposite the barb. On this session I've been using a little brightly coloured hook kicker, just a little yellow kicker just to make that hook just a little bit more aggressive, and then I'm using a really nice coated hook link at about 6 to 7 inches long. Now the other rig that we've been using, and we've had some really nice fish on, is a little rig that we've been not necessarily trialing, but it's quite new to me, and it's something that we've been putting in our PVA bags, and it's been working really well, and that is a little German rig. And what we've been doing different with this is that we've been putting a bait screw on, so we can bring the rig in quickly, change the bait over, get it in a new bag and get it straight back out again. What we've also been doing is putting again a little kicker on, a little coloured kicker, just to make that hook a little bit more aggressive. Now so it all tidies up and it goes in a nice little solid bag. I'm using a size 6 hook as opposed to a size 4, and that little pineapple dumbbell wafter is just the right size to fit in that bag, and when a carp comes along and just does one big gulp to swallow up all them little pellet, that shoots up inside his mouth, and it is, wow, the hook holds have just been unbelievable. So the braid that I'm using there is just a non-coated hook link, and again really soft, really supple, sits in the bag really well and is really well camouflaged, and that hook link is probably only about 4 inches, 5 inches maximum, just to keep it all nice and compact, condensed down so it fits in a bag nicely. Now when we've been putting out our rigs for the night, and we've been putting out them blowback rigs on the gravel, I've been coupling that up with a little PVA mesh bag with 4 or 5 boilies in of match the hatch, and I've been leaving them soaking in a little pot, absolutely covered in Cremino, and the Cremino liquid is so thick it's unbelievable. So a good helping of that in my tub, soaking with my hook baits and soaking in that little PVA mesh bag has just been absolutely devastating, and that's exactly what we're going to do again tonight, and no doubt, fingers crossed, we'll make it 530s in this trip. Tonight is the last night, so fingers crossed for a big one.
Kids could be watching this. Gone.
And now, no more big ones. Well, that's what I mean, so sometimes the smaller ones dance around a lot harder. Oh, you don't get a jacket. Hold on. I don't know if you can hear me over the rain. Me and Harriet have been sitting there having a nice cup of tea, making up PVA bag after PVA bag, just containing a pellet and them little pineapple pop-ups on that little German rig that we showed you earlier. Saw a couple of fish rolling, and then we thought, actually, with the air pressure the way it is a little bit lower, let's put a rig out in the slightly deeper spot. So we've gone right in the hole over the back of the swim, and it didn't take long for it to actually melt off, and it's raining really hard, so apologies if you can't really hear me. Harriet picked the rod up because we were sort of sat there just relaxing. We didn't have any rain jackets on, so Harriet picked the rod up on this one. A bit of teamwork. I then got my jacket on, and now we've just swapped over, and Harriet's now got her jacket on and she's playing ghillie with a camera. Right, I want to be quiet because I want to concentrate. I'll make sure we get this one in. So I was just saying, me and Harriet have been working hard together, getting them PVA bags knocked up and chucked out in the pouring rain. Oh, he's launching. I hate it when the line pings across the back like that. This weather is so carpy. But for some reason the lake's fishing hard. Yeah, we've had some bigger fish, but it's still fishing pretty hard at the moment. Come on! Well, there we have it. Literally just got that one in the net. Pays off. Get a rod straight back out on the spot. Harriet made up another solid PVA bag, wrapped the lines up, cast it straight back out, and it's melted off again. And it feels like a decent fish as well. We had a look at the first one in the net, and it looks like something special, so I cannot wait to get that out on the bank. I knew it was a big fish when we was playing it, 'cause it just wallowed. It didn't dance around much like the little ones do. And this one is doing something very similar. Wow, so what a flurry of fish. We're going to do this one quickly. This is the one we just pulled in. The other one had a good look in the net. It was something special, so we're going to get that out in a second, but I thought we'd just deal with this one really quickly first. We weighed him, 28 pound on the button. Oh, first things first, take your jewellery off. Get rid of that. An absolute, again, stunning carp. All the fish in here that we've caught have been absolute pearlers, and this guy's no exception. Strange as well, we've only had mirrors, we haven't had any commons yet, but I'm not complaining when they look as beautiful as this one. Right, a couple of quick snaps, getting back, and then we've got something really special in the net. Right, what a beautiful. There we go, look at that. What we came to Cottington Lakes for, our 40 pounder, that magic 4-0, just over on the scales. We zeroed the weigh sling several times just to make sure as well, and it coming at about 40 pounds and 4 ounces. So a new UK PB as well, absolutely over the moon. Buzzing on the last night as well, and still in daylight. We've got another about 15 hours, 16 hours worth of fishing left, and we've cracked it. We've cracked the Cottington code. We've managed a few nice 30s during this trip, and we've finally bagged that 40 pounder. What a way to finish this session after an awesome week's fishing. What an absolute chunk. Wow, what a session we're having here at Cottington. Cannot believe it. And I know I keep saying that, but it's not often you go somewhere and you catch a 30. It's not often you go somewhere and catch 2 30s. But to have, how many 30s, Harriet? 5 30s now and 1 40. It's just a session of dreams. Right, let's get him back. Right, thank you very much. Right, try and pick him up one last bit. There we go. What an absolute magnificent beast of a fish. There we go, he's desperate to get back now. There we go, off you go. Yes, can't believe it. Last night, fingers crossed for one more. If not though, that was an incredible session.
Morning guys, absolutely buzzing this morning. Fast asleep, like I was in the deepest sleep, and all of a sudden, beep beep beep, just 3 little bleeps. So I got out of bivvy, thought, oh, it's going to be a bream. So I sat next to the rod, put my fingers on the line, and then I could just feel it. I could just feel it pulling. I was like, right, that's it. So I struck into the rod thinking, right, it's going to be a bream, typical bream sort of take. But it wasn't, it was heavy. I knew it was going to be a carp. I knew it was going to be a decent sized carp as well. Finally got it in, got it over the net cord. Absolute amazing battle. I mean, like, all the fishing here all week have played really, really hard, and this one was like no exception. It was dancing all over the place, it was playing really deep, and it just took what felt like forever to come in. Got it in the net. It's still sat in the net now. Hasn't been in there too long. We've just literally got it in the net, went to sort out the camera gear, and the heavens have just absolutely opened. So it's absolutely bucketing down right now. So we're just making a very quick, having a very, very quick cup of tea, sorting out the camera gear as we've just literally just got up, and then we're going to get it out, get it weighed, and then yeah, we'll get some nice pictures and some footage. But it's definitely a 30, definitely a 30, which now makes how many 30s? 5. That makes 5 30s. Sorry, I got it wrong last night. 5 30s this trip, 140 and a couple of 20s. Incredible trip. Right, can't wait to get this one out the net.
There's no business like show business. There's no business that I know.
What are you going on about? Has that tea got something special going on?
Do I
in
look
it?
like the moon?
The what?
The moon.
We need to get you a green jacket though,
I like this one.
and a green mug as well.
You know what I do have though? Recorder compact carry-all.
Hashtag plug.
What an absolute brilliant start to the day. It could not get any better than this. We're just about to start packing up, just about to get up, and the rod, like I said, didn't quite melt off this one. Did that slow little thing where it does that 3 bleeps and you're not too sure whether to strike it or not. But I got out of the bivvy, sat next to the rod, held the line, and then I could just about feel it vibrating, and that was enough to tell me to pick it up. At first, like I said, I thought it was going to be a bream. There we go, check that out. What a way to finish this session. Like I said, I thought it was a bream this morning, a couple of bleeps, but went out, sat with the line, sat with the rod, and felt the line go tight in my hand. Picked it up, and I just knew instantly it was going to be another big carp. 36 pound, and this one takes the tally up to 5, Harriet, is that right? Yeah, 5 over 30 pound, plus that 40 and a couple of backup 20s. In total, this one came in at just under, well, actually, so just under, it was bang on 36 pound. And I'm absolutely buzzing to be able to finish a session with another 30 pounder. What an incredible 2 weeks. What an incredible week here at Cottington Lakes, and it'll be a session that I'll never forget. This is why I come fishing. This is why I love the sport, for moments like this. Right, I'm going to get a few snaps of this big girl, get her back, and then we've got to pack up the gear and then head back to the office. Right, let's get a couple of pictures and get her back. Thank you, Cottington. Thank you for an absolute amazing time. What a chance.